Please welcome His Excellency Ambassador Lazaro Nyalandu, a distinguished Tanzanian diplomat and former cabinet minister, who will discuss the critical work of protecting children in Tanzania and securing their future.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Pastor Mark Barnes, God bless. It was a pleasure having a chance to speak with you over the phone the other time, and I can see you now. I wish to recognize congressional leaders, some of whom had spoken before, spiritual leaders who are here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my great honor and singular privilege to speak before you on the subject of shared responsibility which we have before God and humanity, which requires all of us, one, to take care, to protect, and above all, to give the most love to the most vulnerable. And these are children who, some of them may be in harm's way anywhere in the world. As a diplomat myself and as advisor to my president, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, it is befitting that I bring to you greetings from Madam President and share with you her deep belief that the safety of children anywhere is our God-given responsibility and a noble duty upon which our humanity and our human conscience and belief are measured. Coming from Tanzania, a land that stands as an enduring symbol of peace, beauty, and stability in Africa, and a country whose children have grown singing, and if there is anybody from Tanzania here would attest to me, we grew up singing a love song, all of us. It said, Tanzania, nakupenda kwa moyo wote, ninapokwenda safarini, kutazama maajabu. And it was speaking rather about people and children who had no home, who had no place to go. Tanzania would be a country that welcomes them all, give them home, give them refuge. And these melodies and lyrics have defined who we are as a nation, spoke then and now that suffering children are safe in God's hands. And we the people remain his instrument of sharing his grace, his care, his protection, and enduring love for all of the children of our world. Currently in Tanzania, and I wanted to give this perspective so people understand where we are currently today in Tanzania. We are hosting around 231,000 to 232,000 refugees. This is according to UNHCR, mainly from the country of Burundi and DRC. This number was estimated to have reached 1 million during the peak of the Rwandan genocide. Thousands of children, mostly those escaping brutal reality of harm, wars, and fear, have crossed into our country, into our borders, to find a home, to find love, and to find families. Tanzania has continued its open arm policy in shielding children and persecuted persons from neighboring countries and allow them to share in our endowed heritage, the hospitality of our warm-hearted people. And if you ever come to Tanzania, you find love in the street. You find joy in the street. There is something in the air when you walk the nights in the cities like Dar es Salaam and other places. The vast opportunity brought by our beautiful country, we have opened the door and arms for those that are in harm's way. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes, and of course it does happen, bad actors have taken advantage of this generosity and access given to people from all around the world who wish to extend a helping hand in support of children in need across our land and, of course, across our continent. We had a story recently that Pastor Mark and I shared. This was a story of a man who was not a native of Tanzania. He had come from another beautiful country, and His name was Jakub Jahal from the Czech Republic. This man, whose infamous actions represents a modern-day cross-border criminal rings targeting children, is alleged to have abused children and misappropriated charity funds meant to support those same children in need in an orphanage somewhere in Moshi, just beneath the beautiful foot of Mount Kilimanjaro. This man became a monster in hiding, accused of abusing children in the most inhumane ways. And Jacob is reportedly to have arrived in Tanzania sometimes in 2020, initially as a community support lead through an organization called Nature Skills, which was supporting vulnerable children and promoting environmental action. Such actions are abhorrent and contrary to international laws and to the laws of the United Republic of Tanzania. And hence a coordinated due process to bring the perpetrator and his associate to justice is warranted, and regardless of where they may be hiding today in the world. Tanzania, under the able leadership of Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, our first female president, proud mother and a leader, has stood tall among nations in Africa by advancing Pan-African policy to protecting the rights of the children. Even during our darkest hour, our nations and her people has reason to find a reason, compromise, and purpose to continue holding all our children by the hand and keeping the faith in the greater good of humanity through God. It is well noted that during the years of J.F. Kennedy, and this is a man that many Americans remember with pride, this was back in 1961 to 1963. These years were known for the youthful energy of his New Frontier vision. As America faced multiple challenges and opportunity at the same time, and among them, I remember from reading and from understanding, it was Cuba Missile Crisis, establishing a Peace Corps that continue to bring change across the world today, and also advancing the space technology. During these coveted times, a young leader from Tanzania, Julius Nyerere, had risen to power in our country, having delivered independence of Tanganyika from the rule of England without bloodshed. And this is important. He was a spiritual diplomat of his time. And they two quickly became friends. They had a bond of friendship. They had a bond of love and brotherhood. And this friendship resulted in JFK inviting Julius Nyerere to come to this city, Washington, D.C., on January 15, 1963. Among other things that they discussed was making the children of Africa and the children of Tanzania an endowment that we will all be proud. They discussed, among other things, the children's safety that would be the epicenter and foundation of Tanzania and U.S. relationships that have endured today. The welfare of Tanzanian school children, as I said, was among things they discussed then in 1963. Ladies and gentlemen, at such times as these, interfaith dialogue must continue to build trust. Where politics alone cannot, humanity is brought together in shared values and perspectives. The unity among faith communities is essential in addressing today's global challenges, the safety of children included. It is our sacred duty and shared responsibility to go beyond the call of duty, anything that we are, that we believe, that we want to do, to making sure the freedom of religion, the beliefs, and the faith is protected for all, because this is foundation upon which we can have societies that are strong. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever that happened now and today, I wish to say that one of the famous things that Nelson Mandela once said was that Africa, as he was looking at the continent, having come out of jail, he said, Africa, the Lord gave you struggles, and struggles made you strong. We are all made strong because of some of the things we go through. And I believe as we continue to stand united, as we continue to work together, the voices of far places like Africa. What we do, what we are achieving should be part of the contribution, positive contribution to this debate in the world, to making our world a better place. And I want to finish by giving you this. Someone somewhere in Africa continue to believe we do have that African dream to be a better people, to be loving, to open our hands to the rest of the world. We are over 54 different countries speaking hundreds upon hundreds of languages, but yet when you visit the continent, even places where you may not have heard, there is love in the air. If you come to Tanzania, if you come to places like Arusha, Mount Kilimanjaro, and you go to just ordinary folks in the villages, you find love in the air. We would like to have this love continue to unite our world as we continue to be free people, working for the whole world and uniting all our perspectives for the greater good. Thank you, and thank you for listening.